Hare Krishna, everyone. We're continuing to read the Teachings of Lord Kapila, the book by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Chapter 10, Spiritual Attachment and Material Attachment. Text 18. Jnana Vairagya Yuktena Bhakti Yuktena Chatmana Paripashyatyudasinam Prakritim Chahatau Jasam. Translation. In that position of self-realization, by practice of knowledge and renunciation in devotional service, one sees everything in the right perspective. He becomes indifferent to material existence, and the material influence acts less powerfully upon him. Purport. As the contamination of the germs of a particular disease can influence a weaker person, similarly, the influence of material nature or illusory energy can act on the weaker or conditioned soul, but not on the liberated soul. Self-realization is the position of the liberated state. One understands his constitutional position by knowledge and vairagya, renunciation. Without knowledge, one cannot have realization. The realization that one is the infinitesimal part and parcel of the Supreme Spirit makes one unattached to material conditional life. That is the beginning of devotional service. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, one cannot engage in the devotional service of the Lord. In this verse, therefore, it is stated, Jnana Vairagya Yuktena. When one is in full knowledge of one's constitutional position and is in the renounced order of life, detached from material attraction, then, by pure devotional service, Bhakti Yuktena, he can engage himself as a loving servant of the Lord. Paripashyati means that he can see everything in its right perspective. Then the influence of material nature becomes almost nil. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. When one is self-realized, he becomes happy and free from the influence of material nature. And at that time, he is freed from lamentation and hankering. The Lord states that position as Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param, the real beginning of devotional service. Similarly, it is confirmed in the Narada Pancharatra that when the senses are purified, they can then be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. One who is attached to material contamination cannot be a devotee. In the conditional state, we are influenced by material nature. We have already discussed how we are conditioned by the three modes of material nature: ignorance, passion, and goodness. Goodness is superior to ignorance and passion, because from the platform of goodness we can come to understand Krishna and thereby transcend the modes altogether. In this age, people are generally influenced by the lower modes, the modes of ignorance, and passion. In these modes, we are not able to serve Krishna. It is our constitutional position to serve someone, but when we do not serve Krishna, we serve Maya. In any case, we cannot become master. Who can say that he is a master, that he is not serving anyone? We may serve our family, society, country, business, automobile, or whatever. If one cannot find anything to serve, he goes and buys a cat or a dog and serves it. Why is this? It is because service is our nature. We are simply lacking the knowledge of where to direct the service. Service is meant to be rendered to Krishna. In the material world, we are serving our lusty desires, not Krishna, and we are deriving no pleasure from this. We are also serving in an office or in some employment in order to get some money. In this case, we are serving money, not the person. Thus, in the material world, we serve the senses and money. In any case, service is there. We must serve. Actually, the only master is Krishna. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasa Babritya. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 5.142. All the demigods, human beings, animals, trees, and everything else are servants. Self-realization is realizing that one is the eternal servant of Krishna and that one's duty is to serve him. Self-realization is not thinking, Aham Brahmasmi, I have become Brahman, Bhagavan. How can we become Bhagavan? If we are Bhagavan, we are actually the Supreme Powerful One. If this is the case, why are we in a miserable condition? Why are we under the influence of Maya? Does Bhagavan come under the influence of Maya? No. Krishna says specifically in Bhagavad Gita that Prakriti, Maya, is working under his directions. Maya is the maid servant of Krishna. And if we are servants of Maya, how can we be Krishna, Bhagavan? When we come to our spiritual senses, we can understand that we are erroneously engaged in Maya's service and that our duty is to engage in Krishna's service. That is self-realization. As stated here, Jnana Vairagya Yuktena. Real understanding is knowing oneself to be the servant of Krishna and no one else. Because we are under illusion, we are serving Kama, Lobha, Moha, Matsarya, lust and greed, without benefit and without pleasure. Kamadinam katina katidha palita durni desha. Quote, there is no limit to the unwanted orders of lusty desires. Unquote. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 3.2.25. When we come to the understanding that our pleasure lies in serving Krishna only, we have attained Jnana Vairagya. Therefore, in Srimad-Bhagavatam 1.2.7, it is stated, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. Quote, by rendering devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Unquote. If one engages in the service of Vasudeva, Krishna, this knowledge comes, and one becomes a Mahatma. A Mahatma is he who realizes that Krishna is everything. He does not defy Krishna or try to become Krishna. One who does so is not a Mahatma, but a Duratma, a rascal. What is the position of a Mahatma? What is the position and knowledge of a Mahatma? Krishna states, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashrita bhajantyananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. Quote, O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Unquote. Bhagavad Gita 9.13. A Mahatma cannot be manufactured. He is under the Daivi Prakriti, the divine nature. There are two kinds of Prakriti, Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. Apara Prakriti is the material world, and Daivi Prakriti is the spiritual world. As soon as one understands that he is uselessly serving Maya in the material world in the form of society, friends, country, and so forth, one reaches the stage called Jnana, knowledge. As soon as one attains this knowledge, he reaches the Brahma Bhuta stage, Brahman realization, and he becomes Prasannatma, happy. One may ask, why should I serve Krishna? We have already explained that being a part means serving the whole. The whole is Krishna, and the individuals are meant for Krishna's satisfaction. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. There are many Ishvaras, controllers, but the supreme Ishvara is Krishna. As soon as one attains this realization, he has attained perfect knowledge, and he renders service in Bhakti Yoga. Foolish people say that Bhakti is meant for Agyanis, unintelligent people. But this is not the case. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna indicates that after many births, the Jnani, the man in knowledge, surrenders unto him. As long as we do not understand Krishna, Vasudeva, we should understand that we are still fools. We may advertise ourselves as very great jnanis, learned personalities, but we are actually fools. That is the Shastric conclusion. If we are actually jnanis, we should surrender unto Krishna. On such a beautiful note, we're going to complete today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description. Please check it out, read it along with us, share it with all of your friends. Find all the other books we've read so far on our website, shravanamdiaries.com, and we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.